Hello and welcome to SUTV Live. We're live inside our studio here at Bramall Lane as the Blades play host to Burnley. Can United follow up back-to-back wins with what would be a statement victory against the league leaders? We'll be looking back at Tuesday's victory over Bristol City with reaction from Chris Basham, running the rule over today's opponents and hearing from Kieran Clark in an SUTV Live exclusive as he returns from injury. And don't forget, kickoff is just under half an hour away, and for all the match pass information and broadcasting regulations for today's game, go to the website sufc.co.uk. Well, hello again, and welcome to Bramall Lane. And we're looking forward to what should be a tremendous match this afternoon. And who better to run the rule over that match than the two men who are alongside me this afternoon? That's Kevin Gage and Deane. Kevin, matches like this must always have felt very special.
Yeah, you couldn't want for anything more, could you? It's a good test for Sheffield United, playing the league leaders at home. There'll be a decent crowd. It's good conditions for football as well. Me and Deane were just discussing it. It's a bit murky. There's a bit of grease on the pitch. It'll be slipping. It's not too windy. And I particularly like these early kickoffs. I used to always enjoy playing like morning 12 o'clock kickoffs. So yeah, bring it on.
And Brian, a great chance for United to really post a big win here today. If they can pull it off, it'd be a big statement, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, look, Burnley are a top team. Let's not make any mistake about that. But certainly, if we want to send out a message at home, then no better way to do it than against the current league leaders and perhaps the form team in the division.
And big atmosphere. I gather there's going to be over 29,000 here. There's going to be big support for United as well, and that's going to be important.
Yeah, it always is, isn't it? I mean, the crowd really do get behind us at home with good reason, because we're superb at home usually. There's been thrills and spills in the last few home games, so I expect a lot more today. It's going to be a really tough game today, though, because Burnley, top of the league, obviously, but they're a very good side.
But they kind of got away with it against Rotherham, didn't they? We got away with it against Bristol City, so maybe in a sense we're in the same boat.
I think what that shows me is that this is a team that goes for 90 minutes and more. You know, I think from the last two games they've won 3-2 and they've scored late on. They come on very strong at the end of games, and I think as a result of that, that's saying to me that this game isn't going to be over until the last ball's kicked, literally.
Well, I mentioned Bristol City there, of course, and United's victory 1-0 at Ashton Gate on Tuesday night. Let's now take the time to look back once more at the highlights of that win.
We're underway here at Ashton Gate as Sheffield United aim to make it back-to-back away victories. Here's Norwood. United try and get a foothold here at Ashton Gate. Buildup will settle for the throw and he takes it quickly, and that's very good play from Njai. In goes the cross, sharp there for United, just couldn't generate the power. United just had that sharp header. That's a nice dummy. Vyman first time, and it rattles the top of the bar, and that's the closer we've come. Still going Scott, brilliant run this, and then tried to force the shot in at the near post, and Fotheringham was equal to it. And we're back underway here at Ashton Gate. Bit of space to the right here, and Baldock. McAtee makes the run, here he is. Baldock's gone into the middle. Basham joins the attack. In it goes, looking for Sharp, might break for Illiman, and Njai! He just can't stop scoring. An 8th of the season for Illiman and Njai. And United take the lead at Ashton Gate. Much better from United. Here's John Fleck. Njai, can he turn? Brilliant from Njai, put it through James's legs and gets the shot away. It's held by O'Leary. Digs out across. Vyman got something on, he actually headed it the wrong way. And a shot from a long way out, thunders against the post. Scott had a bit of a quiet period in the game, and Norwood has won the ball here for United. Options left and right, Norwood still going, and still he takes it on himself. And it goes from Scott. Chance here for Vyman. De Silva. In it goes. Martin chests it down. Chance to hit it maybe. Eventually gets the strike away. Hoisted forward by the goalkeeper. Up go the heads. It's loose. It's away. The referee blows for full time.
Like all the United players, Chris Basham was delighted that the Blades had picked up 3 points, even though he recognised it wasn't the greatest of performances.
Yeah, I think that's what the Championship's all about. Sometimes I think we had a lot of experience out there tonight. That's probably pulled us through the game. We played loads better than that. Look at QPR at home. I think we played really well and we got beat, and it was sickening in the dressing room. And you go in the dressing room tonight, play really bad, but everyone's jumping around. So take the result, bad conditions, bad weather, but 1-0 away performance and another clean sheet.
What was the message from the manager at half-time? You were way off the team's best. What does he say to try and provoke a response? Ultimately, you had because you scored 3 minutes into the second half.
Yeah, he wanted us to be more braver, pass through the lines more. If the midfielder went wide, find your striker. He wanted me to help out more attacking-wise, obviously Robbo as well. And I think it showed that in the goal. We have an overload on the right side, ends up being 3v2, and I play a little ball into McAtee, and he crosses, makes them defend, and that's what happened. It made them defend, and we scored. And then when you win in football games and Championship, we're really hard to break down. We know that we're very good defenders, and in the end, we've seen it out, and we won 1-0.
Well, it was 3 points, lads, and you know, sometimes if you're going to have a promotion-winning season, there's going to be days like this when you kind of get away with it.
I definitely feel that was one of those games where we haven't played well. We recognise it. It's good to get away from those games with 3 points, and also recognise that a lot of teams are going to go down to Bristol City and really struggle. So, you know, for me, it was a perfect result.
Kevin, the manager changed the lineup at an early stage in the game. He realised it wasn't working and changed it around and did it to good effect.
Yeah, he was very brave with that decision, wasn't it? It would have been easy to leave it till half time. But to be fair, I think most people watching the game could see that we were a bit disjointed. Certainly myself and Matt, co-commentator, we picked up on it after 15, 20 minutes. There was a glaring hole in our midfield. So something had to be done about it, because Bristol City on their left-hand side were just getting so much room to just keep coming forward at will. So yeah, Hecky was really, really brave. And yeah, as Brian said, I mean, there's winning ugly, and that was very, very ugly indeed. But 3 points is fantastic.
Yeah, 3 points, and Bristol kept on coming. And the match stats suggested, as we thought at the time, that they'd been the dominant team.
Yeah, I mean, they were a team full of energy. They were very physical, and you know, I felt that, you know, on another day they could give any team an amount of problems. And one thing that I didn't feel that they had was just a calming influence. Everything seemed to be at 100 miles an hour. So that for me shows that, you know, we have got people who can, you know, dictate the tempo of the game, and it felt good. They had a couple of very good young players in the side. So yeah, it's, you know, for me, you know, very happy with the result midweek.
And it all, when we look at the table, it leaves United in quite a healthy position, and you can see there, Kevin, if they can pick up a win today, that's going to put them in a very good place indeed.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's remarkable, really, given the run of injuries and the disruptions we've had, to see us there in third spot. You know, it's fantastic. Great position to be in. Not just today. Of course we want to beat the top of the league. Of course we do. But we've got Rotherham Tuesday, we've got Cardiff next week, and then we go into the World Cup break. So if we can come through these next 3 games and get a smattering of points, we're in a great position to push on around Christmas and afterwards.
9 would be handy, wouldn't it?
9 would be fantastic. Let's not count the chickens, though. I didn't really expect 6 from the last 2 away games, so it's a real bonus to get 2 wins.
Well, let's just look at that recent form and the results as we have them as United move forward. Bit of a hiccup, and then those 2 wins. It certainly makes everything look a lot healthier, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, I think after watching the Norwich game, I said we need to get 10 points from the next 4 games. I think it was something like that to put us back on course for, like, I think we talked about 2 points per game to get it promoted. And after our early season form, you know, that was the trajectory that we were on, and then we had the hiccup. So it's just a little bit of a correction now, and I think we're heading in the right direction. Look, this is one of those games where if we don't get the result that we want, I think you park it, because Burnley have shown to be the team, the form team in the division at the minute.
Well, we've got our team line-up for the match, which is now 20 minutes or so away, and this is how Sheffield United are going to line up. And 3 changes there, Kevin.
Yes, I'm happy with the changes. It's great to see some of our more experienced players finally coming back. We've been waiting for Enda Stevens to return, so it's great to see him back in the fold. We've had to bring Ben Osborne across into midfield because of the injury to Tommy Doyle. Of course, Anel Homohodic is just a superb defender, so he's a natural selection, really. As soon as he's fit, he's back in the side. A little bit harsh on Chris Basham, who's come in and performed admirably in Anel's absence. But we're getting close to probably our strongest Sheffield United side. You could make a good case for saying, the defence is probably the best defence we could put out there.
Sanderberg you'd like in there, wouldn't you?
I said close, yeah. Obviously, yeah. Sanderberg would be an automatic choice. But if you just swap Osborne for Sanderberg, you've got virtually the full strength Sheffield United side there.
Any thoughts about how they're going to line up formation-wise, Brian?
Well, for me, it looks like they're going to play the three midfield of Osborne, Norwood and Fleck, which, for me is a good, hard-working midfield. It's quite solid. I think it was obvious that if you look back now and we think about why McBurney was on the bench, it was in mind that we've got a tough game coming at home. Yeah. And Jai, I think we touched on the fact that with the cramp, they've probably just nursed him towards a game, which has been good. And we've got good balance in the wide areas, so we haven't got a right footer on the left, and that's good for me with tempo, because it means that you can go up that side. If you come out the other side, you're going straight away. The natural tendency of the player on that side isn't to come back inside on his wrong foot. It's to go forward, so that bodes well for me.
Burnley have got a lot of pace, Kevin. It's going to be an examination of the defence.
Burnley are currently the best side in the division. All the key metrics say that. They are hugely influenced by the new manager, of course, Vincent Kompany, who's done a remarkable job in turning around what used to be a very direct, physical Burnley side in the Premier League to a short passing, full of creativity and rotating Burnley side in the Championship. It's been a fantastic turnaround, and you're right, they've got some very agile, creative, quick, sharp, clever players. It will be like watching, a bit like Man City. There's a huge Man City influence, obviously Kompany's time there. He's learned from Pep Guardiola and others, and it'll be fascinating to see how we cope with that today.
Exciting young manager. It's good to see somebody like Vincent Kompany making a mark.
Yeah, aside from what Kevin's mentioned, which is spot on, for me, what you've got with Vincent Kompany is a young manager who's done relatively okay in Belgium. He's come here now, and his enthusiasm as an ex-player, they'll be taking that with them. They see him as a leader, as somebody who is not long out of playing himself. Yeah. He's a legend, and they'll all want to please him as well. These are all key factors for me with having somebody like Vincent Kompany as your head coach, manager. It doesn't get any better, because they know that that they can't pull the wool over somebody like his eyes, and you can't even answer somebody like that back. I remember when I was in Norway, and I felt that my career as a player gave me a lot of credit over the players, because sometimes if you haven't played the game and then you're giving instructions to players, then they'll say, well, what have you done? Now, none of them are going to be able to say that about Vincent Kompany, and that's going to be a key motivator for all of the players this season down at Burnley.
So it's going to be a big examination of Sheffield United's credentials, and as the players arrived, we had the chance to speak to Wes Fodringham, who gave us his thoughts about this match.
Wes, first against third in front of a packed house at Bramall Lane. I'm guessing this is a game that everyone's relishing?
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Obviously a big game, a chance for us to make a statement, and we'll be going out there for the 3 points today.
You've had back-to-back away wins. The case now is trying to find that form at home again now, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think you know, since the manager's come in, our home format, Bramall has been really, really good. I'd say the last couple of months have been a little bit inconsistent, but hopefully we can change that today.
You've come back in, got a clean sheet against Bristol City. How pleased with your contribution there?
Yeah, good. Obviously, I had a little break out of the team through suspension, and yeah, the first thing you want to do when you come back in is keep a clean sheet and get back to what you're doing before. So no, pleased.
And a big test today, not only against the top of the league, but against the league's top scorers.
Yeah, I mean they've obviously changed their style of play. Really, really good team. Some great players in there, and yeah, it'll be a difficult test today.
So we've spoken about this exciting Burnley team with their dynamic young manager, Vincent Kompany, and this is their recent form as they come into this match. Finishing off with that 3-2 win coming from behind against Rotherham during the week, Kevin.
Yeah, that was a bit of a body blow when I clicked on the results and saw they'd scored after 10 minutes of injury time, so bit disappointed, but yeah, I mean they're in a great run of form, aren't they? I think it's something like 16 games unbeaten. They're top of the league. They've only lost one all season. Yeah. It's going to be a real tough test for us today. A real measure of how good are we. And they score goals as well, don't they? They're the only team in the division with better goal difference than Sheffield United.
Yeah, I mean, they seem to tick all of the boxes, and you need that to kind of give yourself the kind of leverage that they have done. So it's a huge test. Let's not beat about the bush here. It's going to be a very tough game. We want the crowd to play their part, get behind the team. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. It's a real kind. It's like electric.
It's going to be a really good game of football.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope so, and let's have a look at the Burnley team who are going to be taking on United this afternoon. This is the way that they're going to line up. What's your thoughts about that, fellas?
Well, the one thing we do know, as I already mentioned, they're very, very good at keeping the ball. They top the possession stats for all the clubs in the Championship. They're well into the 60, 62, 63%. So they like short, sharp passes. They rotate around. So you can't really pin a formation down to them because they just float around the pitch and operate in all areas of the pitch. The two names I'm pleased not to see there is Rodriguez, who's the main centre forward, and a guy called Josh Brown, who is their main creative midfielder. He scored 5 goals and 4 assists, I think, this season. So there's a few new names for us, but whoever they put out, it's going to be a real test.
Well, Jay Rodriguez was one of the people we thought was going to be one of the men to watch, but we've got a few others there who are names certainly worth considering. Ian Matson on loan from Chelsea, Samuel Bastian, Nathan Teller, Southampton striker on loan, and Michael Manuel Benson, Belgian, who came off the bench and scored against Rotherham. Well, we're getting closer to kickoff now. That's this afternoon, Sheffield United against Burnley. But now let's just take a look at the matches that are coming up for you to look forward to. Rotherham at home, that's a 7:45 kickoff, and we're going to be on air from 7 o'clock for that one. And then on the 12th, we've got Cardiff City away. That's a 3 o'clock kickoff, so we'll be setting the scene from here at Bramall Lane from 2 o'clock onwards. And then on the 10th of December, back into action with a home game against Huddersfield, 3 o'clock kickoff again, and we'll be on air from 2 o'clock. So those are matches to look forward to. Time now for an SUTV exclusive. And we've been talking to Kieran Clark, who's had his injury problems this year, hasn't played since August, but is delighted to be back.
It's good to be back out training for a start, and yeah, to get the minutes there was a bonus for me. But it's great to be back in, and yeah, pleased that sort of over the injury.
It was a tough situation to come into with Sheffield United coming under a lot of pressure, but you must have been pleased to help get the team over the line.
Yeah, so the conditions weren't great down there on the night, and we had a game a few days ago, and I think a few of the boys were a bit leggy, and all them factors come into it, and yeah, it was sort of doing what you can to come on and help the team if needed, and yeah, like I said, it was 15 minutes or so, but yeah, I'm glad I managed to get on and do what I can to help the team.
things are starting to look bright again on that left-hand side now. You're coming back, Jack Robinson's back, Enda Stevens is back as well, which is great competition for you.
Definitely, yeah. I think everyone knew that at the start of the season. There's always going to be competition for places, and I think we've had a lot of injuries. But yeah, hopefully, like I said, boys can get fit, everyone can get fit, and there'll be a lot of competition, and we'll be in a stronger position as a team then.
Now that you're back fit, I'd imagine this World Cup break, which is coming up, it's probably coming at a bad time for you, isn't it, really?
Yeah, just I'm getting fit, but yeah, it's part of the game. Yeah, we all knew that there was going to be a break at this point in the season, so I think we've just got to focus on the games coming up, the next couple of games, and then yeah, I think individually we'll look at it and see where we're at and see what fitness we need and stuff like that. So,
from a team point of view and defensive point of view, back-to-back clean sheets, which everyone must be really pleased with at the moment.
Definitely, yeah. It's great to get clean sheets. Gives you that platform then to go on and win games. And over the last 3-4 months, the boys have been brilliant. And that's one thing that we want to try and keep doing is to try and keep building on the clean sheets that we're getting. And
with Burnley coming up next, they're the league's top scorers, so another real tough test for you.
Yeah, it's a tough test. They've shown how good they are and the quality they've got in their side, but also we've got quality, and we're finding that form again now. And yeah, we just need to stick together and believe that we can go out there and beat anyone on our day.
Kieran Clark back from injury, and good to see him back in the squad again, Kevin.
Yes, of course, experienced Premier League player. We haven't seen an awful lot of him. I think he's played one game or 1.5 games. So good to have him back. As he's talking about, there's competition for places. It's up to Robinson now, who seems to have got that left centre back shirt. It's up to him to play as well as he was doing at the back end of last season and keep Kieran Clark out the side.
Did okay on Tuesday night, Robinson, and. But again, it's good to see competition for places.
It's good to have the options that we do have, and a clean sheet on the evening as well. So, no, they'll all be aware of, if you're not in the team, it's about dislodging. Chris Basham, bit unlucky, but for me, I'm with Kevin. I like the look of an L at the back there. I think he's a good player, and I think the more that he plays, I think the better he'll get as well.
And our success over the last 18 months or so under Hecky has come about with a brilliant foundation, a really solid, strong defensive foundation. Yeah. So they're right, we need to get back to those clean sheets. We're always going to score goals. We've got enough in our team to score goals. We need to keep those clean sheets.
You're off to commentate with Matt Young shortly. Time to stick your neck out. Yeah. Time to tell us what you think is going to happen.
Oh, God.
Can United pull it off?
What I think is going to happen is it's going to be a fantastic game of football. Really, really entertaining. I think we're going to have to be patient today because Burnley will have a lot of the ball. But I think we need to get after them and get into them at times and make our presence felt. So I'd like us to be a bit more physical, than we might be usually to get after them. So I'm waffling a bit, trying to avoid the subject, but I'm going to go for a draw. I'm going to sit on the fence.
It's a big ask to say that it's going to be a win, isn't it? But anyway, enjoy the match, and we'll be hearing from you, no doubt, through that first half and again at half-time. And while you make your way across to the commentary position, we'll have a listen to the United manager, Paul Heckingbottom, who at the pre-match press conference, looking ahead to this weekend, gave us his thoughts.
Same way we do every game. We set up to try and win. We recognise what they're good at. Watching them again the other night. They're going till the end and getting the wins when it doesn't look like they're going to get them. So the confidence is going to be high. They've got a clear way they want to play, which is the strength, but it also means we know what to expect. Yeah, so that's how we prepare. We prepare to face them. We know their threats, and we try and impose ourselves on them. Yeah, the evidence of the Rotherham game is they like to get it wide a lot. It's very much a definite tactic of theirs. Yeah, they've done that all the time, whether it's been 2 wide men out there, or then they've changed and had one of the wide men coming inside and the full-back takes his place. So they've still got the set positions they like players to be in, and the width tries to stretch the opposition. But yeah, so like I said, we know what we're facing. We've got good players, final third, and And like I said, they're up there for a reason. They've not lost in a long time, so it's our job to try and change that.
Ollie Norwood's just been talking about the kind of minor target of being top going into the World Cup break. It's quite the. It would be quite the target to hit, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, it's possible for us, isn't it? But let's not look further ahead than this game. You know, it's there for. We've got 3 games. The fact we're playing top of the league, I enjoy it. We like it. Home game. It's going to be a good atmosphere. Cameras are there, but Burnley will be saying the same. They'll be well up for it. They know they're coming to another team who's up near the top. And why wouldn't they be looking forward to it? Like I said, the form they're in, the confidence will be high. So yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a good game.
Not too long now before the players make their way onto the pitch, and you can sense that little buzz, can't you, this afternoon? It's that little bit special. Being a lunchtime kick-off as well, everybody knows how much is at stake here.
Yeah, I mean, for me, for perfect conditions, perfect atmosphere. I used to love these early games because I always used to think, you know, if we can get a win early, it's great to come and watch your rivals, how they're doing. But in terms of the significance of the game, you know, Burnley first, we're third, the atmosphere down on the pitch is going to be razor sharp and electric.
Lovely, isn't it? I mean, it looks a bit gloomy out there, but there's nothing gloomy about the sense of anticipation in both sets of supporters. A lot made their way down from Lancashire as well. Big afternoon this for Burnley. If they get a win here, looking at it from their perspective, it's massive.
Yeah, well, I mean, the expectation now with Vincent Kompany and some of the points that we mentioned before, the fact that this is a young manager, he's hungry, you know, the players want to follow him, he's a leader. You know, all of those things play into the kind of the fact that it's a clash of the top, you know, in the top 3. So for me, it's going to be a huge game.
It's nearly greasy chip butty time. They're going to be singing, the players are going to be out, and we can go over and join our commentators now. It's Kevin Gage, and first of all, good afternoon to Matt Young.
Thank you, John. It's first against third in the Championship as Sheffield United look to use the early kick-off to move back into the automatic